The tech summit in downtown LA was buzzing. Cameras flashed, lanyards dangled. People talked like they were pitching to the future. On stage, Richard Vance, CEO of Cygnus Robotics, talking loudly, gesturing sharply, all perfect hair and perfect posture. Elon Musk sat in the audience, quiet, listening, observing. In the hallway behind the stage, Leo Kim, a junior developer with a physical limp and an oversized backpack, struggled to carry a box of demo equipment. He shuffled into the green room just as Richard was exiting the stage, still wired from applause. Then it happened. Leo accidentally dropped the box. Screws scattered. Tablets clattered. Richard spun around. "Are you kidding me?" he barked. "Can't you even carry a box, right?" Leo froze, lips slightly open, trying to form words. Richard scoffed. "We hire you out of pity, and you still can't get it together." The hallway fell silent. A few interns looked away. One stage assistant winced. And then Elon Musk stepped forward, calm, measured, eyes locked on Richard. "You done?" he asked softly. Richard blinked. "Excuse me? You done yelling at the smartest guy in this building?" Gasps, murmurs. Someone even dropped their coffee. Leo looked up, shocked. Elon turned to him and smiled. "Hey, Leo, what's that algorithm you built last quarter? The one that beat our predictive model?" Leo stammered. Neural flex, 4.2% more accurate." Elon nodded, then turned to Richard. "Remind me again, what exactly did you build this year?" After the confrontation, the room didn't just calm, it shifted. Elon placed a hand on Leo's shoulder. "Come walk with me," he said. They left the hallway and stepped outside into the early evening breeze. The city buzzed in the distance, but around them, quiet. Leo limped slightly as they walked. "You okay?" Elon asked. Leo nodded. "I'm used to it." "That's not an answer," Elon replied. Leo shrugged, eyes on the ground. "I've always been the quiet one. People look at my walk and assume it slows my brain down too. I learned early. Stay small, work hard, and maybe they'll leave you alone." Elon stopped walking. "That algorithm you wrote, Neural Flex, I read it. You didn't just improve our predictive models, you challenged how we think about machine reasoning." Leo looked stunned. "You read my code?" "Twice," Elon said, "then had my lead AI team study it for a week." Leo blinked. "They never said anything." "They were too busy trying to understand how you saw what they didn't." For the first time, Leo smiled, just a little. Elon pulled out his phone. "I want you at SpaceX, on a trial contract. Not charity, not PR, just talent." Leo paused. "You're serious?" "Dead serious." Behind them, the lights of the summit glowed bright. But for Leo, the brightest thing that night was finally being seen. Leo Kim entered SpaceX like a ghost no one expected. He didn't wear a badge with a title, didn't walk with a crowd, didn't carry a resume in his hand. He carried a quiet storm in his mind. At first, the team wasn't sure what to make of him. He limped into the AI development bay and sat quietly in the corner. He didn't interrupt. He didn't overtalk. He listened. Some whispered, "Is that the guy Elon brought in? The one from the summit? What's his deal?" By week 2, Leo had rewritten 2 code bases and built a new neural prioritization model that shaved 11% off system latency. By week 3, the whispers turned to stares. "He just fixed the thing we've been stuck on for 4 months. Did you see the dashboard he built? It thinks." And by week 4, Leo was running morning stand-ups. He still didn't talk much, but when he did, the room listened. One afternoon, Elon stopped by unannounced. He stood at the doorway, arms folded, watching Leo explain a simulation to engineers twice his age and 10 times louder. After the meeting, Elon approached him. "How does it feel?" he asked. Leo looked around, then shrugged. Like I finally fit where I don't have to fight." Elon smiled. "You never had to fight, Leo. The problem is, no one ever gave you room to build." Richard Vance sat alone in his corner office. The skyline stretched out in front of him, but he wasn't looking at it. He was watching a screen. A clip from SpaceX's internal showcase had leaked. In it, Leo Kim stood in front of a massive projection, explaining a new thrust optimization model powered by real-time AI adjustment. Engineers clapped. Some even stood. Richard watched as Elon stepped into the frame, smiling like a proud mentor. Pause. Rewind. Play again. Leo didn't stumble, didn't flinch. The same guy Richard had humiliated in front of a crowd was now leading one. He muted the video and stared at his reflection in the darkened screen. "What did you see that I didn't?" he whispered. He thought about the hallway moment, his voice sharp, Leo frozen, the silence after Elon stepped in. He remembered the interns' faces, how they looked at him, not with admiration, but fear. His phone buzzed. A message from his assistant. "Investor call delayed. Also, team morale is down. Again." He closed his eyes. For the first time, Richard Vance didn't feel like a CEO. He felt like a man who built a tower of success, on silence, fear, and dismissal. And now that tower felt very, very hollow. He stood, walked to the window and whispered, "I think I owe someone an apology." Leo sat in the SpaceX courtyard during his lunch break, quietly sketching code blocks in his notebook like they were art. A shadow fell over the table. He looked up. Richard Vance, wearing a tailored suit, but with his shoulders slightly lower than usual. "Mind if I sit?" he asked. Leo paused, then nodded. Richard sat, hands clasped. For once, no phone, no distractions, just silence. Real silence. "I came to say something," he began. "I don't expect it to fix anything, but it needs to be said." Leo listened. "I was wrong," Richard said, eyes steady. "I didn't see you. I saw a limp. I saw what I wanted to see. And then I made it worse by opening my mouth, before I opened my mind." Leo blinked. Quiet. Still. Richard continued, "I've built a lot of things in my career, but none of them matter if the people I lead feel smaller when I walk in the room." He looked at Leo. "And you are the biggest mind I've encountered in years." Leo looked down, half smiling. "You yelled at me like I was nothing." Richard nodded. "That's the part I'll regret for the rest of my life." A long pause. Then Leo spoke. One line. "Good leaders admit when they're not one. Yet." Richard swallowed hard. "Thank you," he whispered. Leo offered a small, measured nod. Not forgiveness, but maybe room for redemption. 3 months later, SpaceX held a private event for its internal teams. No press, no big lights, just a quiet room of minds that moved the stars. Elon stood at the podium with a simple slide behind him. "Innovation begins with who we choose to listen to." Then he stepped aside. Leo Kim walked up to the stage, still with his limp, still with his backpack. But this time, people didn't look at how he walked. They leaned in to hear what he'd say. Leo spoke not about tech, but about trust. About how ideas live or die in the spaces leaders create. About how talent has nothing to do with volume or charisma, and everything to do with being given a chance. When he finished, the room didn't clap immediately. They stood, one by one, and clapped. Richard Vance, sitting near the back, stood with them. Later that day, Richard shared a post. "I used to define success by who listened to me. Now I define it by how well I listen to others. Leo Kim, thank you for raising the standard." Back in the lab, someone had printed and taped a quote above the main screen. "Brains build machines, but hearts build legacies. LK." Leo saw it. Didn't say anything. He just sat down, and started building again.
If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, comment, and share. Subscribe for more inspiring stories.